that forever you'll be my love. This little days can't stay too long. Don't let it go until I know you love me, love me. Walk into your life, take you in my arms, lead you to the skies that shine above me. Stay as long as time, give yours, you will be mine. Don't let it go until I know you love me, love me. Well,
Noa ia e Māori. Yes, we are still celebrating Rotuma Language Week. And of course, we have to, make sure that we highlight it every single day because it is important. And I know that the Ministry of Pacific people have made sure that they've got the resources out there so that we can acknowledge, to learn and appreciate our Rotuman brother and sisters who are celebrating their language week. So if you need the resources, you know where to go. Ministry of Pacific people, their Facebook page, they've got the word for the day, the phrases, the videos. They've got so many resources out there. I'm going to tell everyone that I'm half or part Rotuman. Hey, yes, we do have a very, very special guest today, and it's such an honour to be next to the pro, Aaron Ryan. Talofa lava, Aaron.
Talofa, thank you for having me.
Oh man, it's so good to have you. You are the founder, the creator of LMBW, Little Man Big World. You've done performing arts, you're an actor, you're a dancer, oh my gosh, you're a man of many talents. It's so good to have you here on BluTable Talanoa, and we're based here at the Pacific Business Hub. How have you been today?
Yeah, good. It's quite a eventful day today.
Yeah,
and this is the second to last stop for today. So.
Oh my gosh! So you've still got places to go, people to meet.
Yeah, I guess you can say I've met all my people. I've been to all the places. I just got things to do.
Date? Sorry, just kidding.
We'll save that for the weekend.
Yeah. Look, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself for our viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your village, school, born in New Zealand.
Yep. Born in Auckland, New Zealand. So I am a third generation Samoan. So my grandparents came here from Samoa. When they were married. I grew up all my life here. Grew up in the greatest city in New Zealand, Manurewa, out of the 267. So shout out to everyone at St. Anne's Catholic Church down there. So I grew up as a kid in Manurewa. I was born in Middlemore Hospital. My village, the main village in Samoa that we sort of associate ourselves with is Safoku and Savaii.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's where my mum's dad is from. And then on my dad's side, they lived in different areas in Samoa because my great-grandparents, they were sort of, from my dad's side, they were back and forth from New Zealand and Samoa, the Ryan family. So, but right now, most of them reside up in the hills in Api and Vailima. So, that's
nice.
sort of where I'm from. Went born and raised Catholic Church in St. Anne's Manurewa, and then went my primary school days there, and also went to St. Peter's College out in Auckland City.
Oh, the central St. Peter's. I don't know anyone that went to St. Peter's.
Yeah, not many people do.
I do. Back in the days, Polyfest.
Oh, yeah, those are the days. Hey, used to just go to school for the first term just for Polyfest.
Yep.
And then never turn up for the rest. Nah, I wasn't that. But
You're a good.
Yeah, I was a good boy. But that's pretty much how it all went.
St. Peter's. It's a very it's an up there school.
Yeah, well, we like to say we built that school if compared to when we went to what it is now. It's very upper class school these days.
Very upper class. But back in my days, I used to just we didn't catch the train; it was a bus into the city. So guys, but those were the days. But some big names from St. Peter's, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think from the era of about 2009 onwards, since our school left, there was a lot of ground things that were being laid while we were there to make the school what it is now. Definitely some big names that have come out of there recently.
Shout out to everyone that's going to St. Peter's, and the old people from St. Peter's. Those
How old?
not that old. Not that old. But Aaron, you are, we mentioned earlier, you are a man of many talents. Performing arts, background, you're an actor, and dance, and now the founder of your very own business. What inspired you to be all of the above?
So we'll touch first on the performing arts side. Back in primary school, actually, the story of how it all started was in primary school. I had a teacher named Mrs. Apaneru, and I was only I remember starting primary school, I think probably, she was from Christchurch, but she was teaching up here. I think I was about 6 or 7 years old, real Samoan teacher too. Like, it's like she just came from teaching in Samoa to New Zealand, and she just put me straight into the Samoan group. Now, the thing is, you weren't, as a boy at the school, you weren't allowed to join the Samoan group unless you were year 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I was year 2, year 3.
Oh, wow.
Well, she just said, "No, you're coming to perform because no one watches our Samoan group at the school fairs, so we're just going to put you." So she forced me to do it every year until I left primary school, and then that just transitioned on. I was like, yeah, I went to school, done Polyfest, fell in love with the idea of Polyfest, and then that just branched off to being, after high school, I didn't take performing arts seriously for the first year. I went and sort of I went to university and I really wanted to do sport and recreation. But then my friends in the industry just kept pulling me, and I was like, stuff it. I love doing it. Went and joined as many theatre shows, Samoan dance groups, or I stayed in church just so I can do all the kauwangas at church and stuff like that. Gosh. And I just kept doing as much as I can, and just I hope I'd be able to do something full-time in it. And I was very lucky that I did. But then, and then I still do that now. So whenever people in the industry want me to come on and be something, or there's an audition that comes up in my emails, I still go and do it. And then just sort of last year lockdown, I decided, okay, how can I do performing arts and still do my own thing I was really passionate about? And the youth has always inspired me. So as well as that whole sport and recreation. So I started a company called Little Man Big World. Where just I got one product out at the moment, but there's gonna be multiple products of games that just help keeps kids active, and and just keep these old Kiwi classics in the game. Old Kiwi classics games. Games in the country. Yeah.
I love that. Sorry, going back to the performing arts and what inspired you, do you still keep in contact with the teacher that helped? With that push?
Yeah, I try.
I love the word forced, because it is. I mean, as much as our Pasifika community is like, that is like the common word that we use back in the days, that they were forced. And sometimes, when we hear that as an adult, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're...
Poor kid.
Yeah, poor kid. Especially now, 2021. Oh, you poor darling. But really, it's like, it actually helped. I mean, a lot of the times I was forced to go to school, but, but that, that's a different story.
Another story.
How did that, you've used that term forced. Do you now, look back and... man, I really appreciate that I wouldn't say forced you, she pushed you because she obviously saw potential in you, right?
Yeah, you're right, because all the conversations we have, I think with our generation is we say forced, but the meaning of forced wasn't a bad thing back then. It was just like, you listen to your elders, this is how you show respect, and you just do it, And so that's what it was. Yeah, but then when we get to these ages, we're like, thank God she made me do that, I've actually, since I left high school, I think about 2 or 3 years after high school, I tried to find her on Facebook or something. Her name was Mrs. Apaneru. I don't know where she is, but shout out to her if she's watching. It's the context behind force back then. It wasn't forced. It was just you listen to your elders and.
But I think she's definitely seen potential. And you know what? And I like that she's planted that seed in you, and now you're like this man with so many talents. And I know. I've watched a few of your performances. Delicious was one back in the day. You guys performed at the Easter show.
Yes.
So, no, not that I didn't go just for that performance, but that the energy that you and the team have brought through all of these performances have, if we watch, it inspired me to be like, oh man, one day, not to be a dancer, because I knew I wasn't a good dancer, but I said one day I'm going to be able to connect with our Samoan community on some type of stage level, and someone actually planted a seed for me, and and now here I am, doing something that I absolutely love. And it's the same with you, the term forced, but they've seen potential in you, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and it definitely is, and something I don't regret. It's given me great confidence and love to do, apply it to many things.
But so you were Catholic, Did you have a lot of the White Sunday performances?
Oh, yeah. Every
Loko
year.
ka meki.
I was very lucky that once we turned 18, our parents were like, you can do whatever you want
Yeah.
now. I still have friends who are 30, 32 who still have to do loko kamaki, you know?
Yeah.
But definitely
Well, I
did it
have
every
three
year.
kids, and my mum and dad, you know, White Sunday, like, I'm like dressed up in something like blue, and my mum's like, "What are you doing?" Off bye bye, and I'm like, "But it's I don't have a part." No, all the parents wear white, and I'm like, "I thought we were past that stage."
I'm old enough,
But,
Mum.
I'm old enough now, Mum. Look, I know that we're going to be talking a little bit about what inspired you to build your business, and go a little bit more into the business. So we're going to go into a quick music break. I believe producer Lemo is going to dedicate all of today to, is it Daniel Ricostello? That's right, man. So today we're going to try a little bit something different. We're going to be playing all of the jams from the man himself, Daniel Ricostello. Stay tuned, everyone.
Believing that I'm open, baby.
Welcome back, everyone. And today, as you can see, we have a very, very special guest here on BluTable Talanoa. If you haven't already, man, please head over to our Facebook page and hit like, love, heart. No angry faces, please. We're all about the Blue Alofa, and we're just trying to share all of our local Pasifika stories of our heroes, and just making sure that their story, we highlight everything that you can to, inspire you and to kind of like be like, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So today, joining us is the awesome Aaron Ryan, the founder and creator of LMBW. And while he is a man of many, many talents, you've probably seen him on a few of the films. I think a lot of the oldies, like myself, would have seen him perform for a group called Delicious back in the days. And I think it was Easter Show was probably the main big attractment. Oh my gosh!
What school did you go to? Sorry.
I went to Salmon College.
Oh, that makes sense then.
These GI girls, but it's you've performed at these big places, and I believe you're also being part of Sawesiva, which is quite a big.
Yes.
Currently one of the big ones at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I would say they're up and coming, but they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I think worldwide, they're awesome. And yeah, I've been with them probably 2 years, not actively. It was just last year I fully joined, and I said,
Yep. I'm good. I'm good. I got this. But sorry, before we went into break, we spoke a little bit about your background with performing arts and what inspired you to become all of the above. And now with your business, you're keeping old Kiwi classics alive. What was the big drive behind that?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, the youth really inspire me to do what I do. And I found that all my close friends, we all have that circle of friends that, that you keep in mind. They're all having kids of their own, and they're always looking for activities or fun things for their kids to do.
Yeah.
And so basically I just had a thought. I was like, it came about during lockdown, and I was like looking for a game just to keep me occupied while I work from home, because, the story of lockdown is my mum was working in one room, my sister was working in the other, my brother-in-law was working downstairs, my dad was working in the lounge. And at some point after the 4 weeks, we're going to keep on fighting over something, I was like, I need something to kill time. I love the game. So I went and got a friend to build it myself. And I thought, actually, maybe other people are looking for this too. Yeah. Made some samples, chucked it online. People bought it within the week. So that's what really inspired me. And I said, I'm just going to find more ways and stuff to get all these kids active and bring games that we really treasured as kids into our communities these days, because it's different generation. And I think some parents, that emotional thing of having these products or having these games as kids that actually wanted to give it out to their kids, but with technology boom so much, the kids aren't wanting these things, but now that I'm just providing a service that they have a different option, and to keep those kids outside active as much as possible.
Because did you know that today I found out that I think about 3 of our younger generators, they don't even know what gutterboard was.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. There's a lot of kids that don't actually. There are some schools that still do play it. Like I have some nieces and nephews that know it, but I'm not surprised.
And I was actually quite disappointed. I was like, you don't know what gutterboard is, and like the members of our our team, they're very, very talented and skilled in what they do, and they were like, well, we had other things that kept us occupied, and I was like, oh, okay. But it was such a fun game growing up, and I was I had to Google, and I went into YouTube to show the team, oh my gosh, this is what it was. And then it just so happened that you chucked up a TikTok video. So I think producer Lemo has that video available. Please, Lemo, please, can you play that TikTok video?
Why would you do that?
Because I need to show everyone what gutterboard is. Here, we've got it here.
Hey, what's up, TikTok? For those who don't know what this game is, if you were born probably before the years 2000, then you'll remember this Kiwi classic gutterboard. What I found was parents are always looking for interesting ways to keep their children active. So what I've done is redesign the Kiwi classic gutterboard like you've never seen before. That way it ensures children have fun, learn and keep physically active. With this gutterboard package, you get one of our cool LMBW green gutter balls, and then what you also get is one of our cool yellow rule booklets that explains all the rules, and then you get one of our premium LMBW gutter boards. Don't worry, if you're wondering what those black things are at the bottom, it's just some strips to help protect it from the concrete basically. And that's me being an idiot. And so basically, if you'd like to buy one of these, just head over to our website, which is www.littlemanbw.com. And here's me caking it.
My gosh, I'm just watching and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had so much, and I'm like smiling because everyone's like looking at me going, what's the big deal? It's just throwing a ball you're throwing this ball at this piece of wood. But I tell you, I remember back, at Roportika Primary School, our principal actually went out of her way to get her husband to make more gutter boards for each class, but there was only one per class, and the classrooms all lined up, and then as soon as the bell went, we were out there, and the gutter board was like plonk, 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 all along the side of the classroom. And it's such a competitive game though, eh?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. But I know that there is more behind why you've kept this old classic alive, because I read that it is not only just to keep our kids active, there's actually the motor skills, I think.
Yeah, so a big part of it is fundamental motor skills.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what fundamental motor skills, it's the skills you use in everyday training and sports. So that's your throw, catch, that's your kick, that's anything to do with movement and the study of movement.
Yeah.
And if you're a young kid and you manage to practice these skills, such as a throw and catch, hand coordination, the way you count numbers, the way you can kick a ball, the way you run. If you can practice that more and more often, studies have showed that it leads to more physical activity when you're older.
Yeah. But see, and that's what I mean. Like, back in the day, it was like, oh my God. And we always used to be like, it's all about fun, but there was more to it. I'm still really bad at catching, but never mind. It was a really, really awesome game. Do you have any other ideas of bringing out any?
Yes, the idea is that I'm going to be releasing a few games.
Yeah.
Now, I've only been open 5 weeks, so, and a lot of people are already asking me, but I've said, hey, hold on.
Yeah, you just like,
I get it, and I'm very thankful, very grateful. But yes, the next one will most likely be elastics.
Yeah.
Because, this is a more sporting game. Elastics isn't something that's played a lot these days, but I'm hoping to bring that out and try and get that.
I can't wait. I'm thinking, I'm not that old, by the way, guys, but it's so exciting to see you've used COVID in a positive way, because a lot of during COVID was quite highlighted as a negative part of our New Zealand life, staying home. But you've managed to, and a lot of business that I have interviewed here on the show, they've actually opened their business during the worst time possible, and they've survived.
Yeah, I just finished interviewing a girl just like this.
Yeah.
And she opened her own lash company. So shout out to Lash Beauty New Zealand.
Yeah.
During COVID, and so again, all of that is people have to come into your store and do it. So you're not wrong there.
Yeah, and see the birth of the gutter board. I'm excited. I think, and I know my girls are now. I think their schools they've built, I think, a few gutter boards. So, and they're telling me, oh mum, and I'm like, oh girl, this is really good back in my day, honey. But it's
maybe
also
not now. But
maybe not anymore. Where can our viewers find to purchase the gutter board?
Yeah, sure. So our website is www.littlemanbw.com.
Yeah.
The whole concept of Little Man BW is Little Man Big World. So yeah, pop over to our website. We're on all social platforms, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Just look up, if you can't find it under Little Man Big World, just search LMBW, and yeah, you're sure to pop up.
Oh, there we go. We've got it there. We've chucked up a photo, Facebook, and does have the website there as well.
Yeah. So just
To all of our viewers, to support our small businesses, head over to their Facebook page, our MBW. Hit like. It's free to hit like. Did you know that? It's free. It's free to hit like. It's free to heart the product, and it helps. It does help our small businesses generate that news feed thing, and it just goes through. But it
the
does.
algorithm does.
Oh, there. So obviously he went to St. Peter's. Gosh, and my kids getting schooled. But no, I love that. I love that you are keeping the old Kiwi classics alive. Look, we know it's not easy opening up your own business during COVID and all that kind of jazz. What was your biggest failure, and what was the most valuable lesson you learnt from it?
Yeah, I think my biggest failure is doing things blindly and not laying like a really good foundation. And the context behind that is that during COVID, for those who were and I say this very lightly, who were lucky enough to be employed at the time, because we weren't spending money going to work or lunch out, I managed to save a lot of money to help start this business. But because of that, I just spent the money on samples, on websites, on people to help me.
Yeah.
And I didn't do my research on those specific people. Now, that's not to say that you should go fully research and do no action. No. You still got to put your work into action, because that's the only way you're going to learn. So that'll be number one: do the research.
Yeah.
Because I think I wasted, I won't say the exact amount, but there's a couple of thousands on things that had no purpose, And so the biggest lesson was, okay, don't rush.
Yeah.
Take your time, put in the hours. When you feel like, okay, you've got it, even though you might have a little bit of fear, just still go, because, you've said to yourself, I've researched as much as I can, and I'm going, that's as research as much as you can. And follow through.
So with the amount of money that you spent, have you managed to recover any or some kind of cost back with the?
Yeah, definitely. It's it all comes back eventually. Unfortunately, with new businesses, you don't make profit till years, because everything you get is you reinvest back into the business. So
I heard it's quite difficult. I've been removed from our family business as well, because not only do we not make money in the first couple of years, it doesn't help when I dip into the no money and make it really go into the -0 part, but it is
McDonald's.
I've kind of mastered a skill where you get $50 to put in your petrol, but what you do is you say, can you just make it say $50 on petrol, and then I only put $20 in, and I spend the rest on whatever's at the gas station. So I don't know, that was just a little tip that I.
All right. I don't know if I'll use it, but
but I'm not allowed the credit card anymore, so I don't get petrol anymore. I just get $50 cash. But it's I've made some really bad money decisions. So
and you've learned from it.
And I have learned from it. Yes. You've done all of your research, what's probably one of the most interesting part of your research that you found you were like, what? Do you have that what moment?
Well, yeah, that TikTok video that just showed, I only posted that less than 24 hours ago, and it's gotten almost 80,000 views, over 12K in likes, and orders have been coming through non-stop. Now, from 2 days ago, before that, 4 weeks, I had been posting. I had been doing interviews every day and posting every day.
Yeah.
Barely anything, I got my orders from my family and friends who were there to support me, but barely anything. So, and then the one TikTok video I got, it's just boom, I've been up till 2 o'clock in the morning packing and shipping out orders, and then having to get up at 6 o'clock to do some other things. But yeah, so that's been content has been the most interesting thing.
Yeah. I heard TikTok is quite popular. Yeah. So you know what? I think we're gonna go into a music break, guys. I'm just gonna jump onto this dude's TikTok and get some new more viewers for Blue TV and for BluTable Talanoa. Straight after the break, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the business and some of Aaron's tip, because he's given now one. You might as well steal a few more. Stay tuned, everyone.
Hey, darling, oh, way up high up in the sky. Tell me why you lost your splendor. Darling, what is it cause your love withdraws? Is it because you lost your love? Mortals have dreams of lives and last schemes, but they don't realize that love will sometimes bring down. Way up high up in the sky. Tell me why you lost your splendor. What is it cause your love withdraws? Is it because you lost your love? Mortals have dreams of lives and last schemes, but they don't realize that love will sometimes bring it down. Oh, way up high up in the sky. Tell me why you lost your splendor. What is the cause your love withdraws? Is it because you lost your love? Hey, oh, way up high up in the sky. Tell me why can't see you, dark moon. Way up high up in the sky. Tell me why can't see you, dark moon. Oh, way up high up in the sky. Tell me why. where I can feel the ocean talk to me. Oh, how it's on my mind. I can feel the urge to unwind. Just to feel the wind through my hair, the sun on my face when I'm there. No more worrying mind. Gonna leave it all behind. We'll go sailing.
Man, loving the Daniel Rico Stello music. Right.
Yeah, love
Just
it.
like for your Thursday, love it, absolutely love it. Just a reminder to all of our viewers, if you haven't already, please head over to our Facebook page, hit like, share, smile, love, show us some blue alofa, and we will be bringing you more stories with regards to our Pasifika community, getting to know our local heroes, sharing their stories that will inspire you. And not only that, we will be going through a whole lot of segments for MPP introducing all of our language weeks, and I'm excited because by the end of the how many months, I think it's 6-7 months that we're running this for, I'm gonna be able to speak 7 languages. Pretty impressive, Bear. I'm going to know how to say phrases in 7 languages. So tune in, get excited about learning someone else's language, because I think it's really, really important. Today, joining us to share his story and how he can help inspire our younger generation to get out there, be a little bit more active, and he's a man of many talents. Aaron Ryan, today, helping me host the show. No jokes. Aaron, look, we spoke a little bit about, the biggest failures in business, but then we learned during our break, do we even know where the gutter board has come from? Like, it's Australia. We don't want that battle of, no, it was made in Australia. Nope, whai Samoa, soalanga, kaka alo I Samoa.
I can say it definitely wasn't Samoa.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure my dad was pretty mint at making the
No,
gutter
he's just good at throwing things at you. That's what.
Ole ma'a. Do you know?
No, actually, no idea. It's a great question and something I sort of ask myself all the time. All I know is my parents played it as kids, and my parents are almost 60 now. So that's as far as the knowledge goes back. I haven't asked my grandfathers if they've played it. So, but it's definitely something I'll indulge myself into once I sort of settle down and get the business going a bit more. I haven't told anyone this, but the over the 5-year plan of what I want to do is doing a documentary based on where this game actually come from, because it's a question that I'm sure is on a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I spent a good hour searching, clicking on different links and articles with regards to Gutterboard, because I was like thinking, actually, I really enjoyed this game. Like, where did it come from? Like, I'm like thinking, and I was like, and I'm not 60, but
Are you sure?
close, halfway there. But I don't know. I actually thought, oh no, this game was, But then I realized, I think my principal, she was at the time, she was about 6. I don't know, I'm probably lying now. Anyways, I won't even give those Bepelo ones to our viewers. But thank you so much to our viewers. And we really appreciate that you tune in daily. But look, let's go back into the questions. What are some of the challenges you face as a business, like a small business right now?
That's there's probably many answers to this, but I think the one that comes top of mind is inventory, like the stock that you have, packaging it and sending it out. If you don't create a good system within, at the moment it's just me and my family help me out when they're free, if you don't create a good system or find a good place in order to do that, it can get quite challenging, because as a small business owner and someone who really wants to do everything myself, there's a lot more things to business than it used to be okay. You used to just save up all this money, buy a store, and anyone that walks past, back in the days, they'll stop and maybe they buy. These days, in this crazy noisy world we live in, there's content creation, there's customer service, there's sending it out, there's sales, there's accounts, So but the main thing that I'm finding now is inventory, as like the stock management, how much I got left, when it's going to get shipped out, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we have the same problem. Look, if our viewers have any tips on helping our brother here with regards to the inventory system, let us know, because we might steal that idea as well. And if you've got any questions with regards to owning your own business, where you can purchase it, please, comment down below, and we're happy to flick your questions over through to Aaron head over to Aaron's Facebook page, LMBW. I love that, even though you've got your own business, you still have your challenges. What's it like having your family help out? Like, do they occasionally do the nudge, like, Meska flimaka langa?
Yeah, so just 2 nights ago, actually, I was up and before my parents were going to sleep, I was up doing some stuff. They're like, "Oh, son, do you need any help?" And I was like, "Yep, I do." I'm sure they were saying no, good night. And all I asked was my parents, like, "Hey, I just need 8 of those boxes, just sellotape. Do it any way you want. It doesn't need to be neat, just sellotape up." They were fighting. Like, "No, you got to do it this way, And I was like, you know what? Stop it. Just go to sleep. I'll finish it, okay?
I love it.
And the thing of this, anything you do, especially if you want to do something long term, if you love what you do, you don't have a problem doing the hard yards, So, I was just like, no, Mum and Dad, get to sleep. And I could hear my sister yelling from downstairs, "Is he paying yous? Is he paying yous?" And I was like, oh my gosh.
But I love that. But that's like the best part of having your village around you. There's always like just that, and it's not a bad thing. Like, I know some people looking at it, not funny, but it's actually quite funny, because then you kind of like, "Oh, don't worry, you got this. I got this." But then you find ways to kind of like, oh yeah. But it must be really awesome having Mum and Dad kind of trying to help.
Yeah, and it's
How supportive have they been with the?
Oh, so supportive. You should see our house looks like a factory right now. Island mums in general love their house to be spick and span and clean. But you walk in and you're like, oh, there's a factory going on here. What time smoko?
But I love those little jabs, eh?
Yeah.
They're like, okay. It's like my dad, and goes, oh, I think I'm gonna start charging you storage, and I'm like, we're your kids.
And that's the thing. My parents are like, you know what? We know this is just for the time being. And it's going to be over soon, so you can do whatever you want.
What's your top tip to help other small businesses?
So a quote that I take from there's 2 quotes that I take. One from a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, and he says all big things start from small beginnings. I think as people who want to change the world, that's basically what we all do. We want to change the world in little or some big way, and I think people just got to realize, if you want the macro or the big vision, it's got to start in small steps, so that, and eventually, if you push hard enough, if you're passionate about it, then you'll get to where you want to be eventually. So that's if you can read that book, it's an awesome book. And another one is called Non-Action is the Most Devastating Thing. We all have these ideas in our head about things that we want to do in life, whether it's small or big, but we tend to think about what other people are going to think. We tend to think, nah, I can't do it. But really, you actually can. But you got to do it. Like, no matter how uncomfortable, a lot of rugby coaches talk about being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. That's what you got to do. So non-action is the most devastating thing. If you want to do something, just go and do it. You'll figure it out. Eventually you're going to figure it out, but just keep on doing it.
I love that. I think, that's awesome. No, I love that. Look, we are going to head into another music break, because we're going to be asking the big hard questions. Asiava has sent talofa lava to everyone. So Asiava, thank you so much. I know you're tuning in from Australia, so talofa lava malorete soifua, and I hope you are well. But straight after the break, we'll talk a little bit more about the big, massive questions that I've got planned.
Cool.
Massive question.
Massive, okay.
Massive.
Taller than me or?
Yes, massive. Straight after this break.
Just where I want to be, in a place where I can feel the ocean talk to me. Oh, how it's on my mind, I can feel the urge to unwind. Just to feel the wind through my hair, the sun on my face when I'm there. No more worrying mind, gonna leave it all behind. We'll go sailing. Oh, far, far away is an island where I will be someday. I long for the sound of the sea and a beautiful woman right next to me. I can see my paradise now. Oh, I've just got to get there somehow. Just to feel the wind through my hair, the sun on my face when I'm there. No more troubled ways. Here come lazy days. We'll go sailing. We got to sail away. Take me to the island. Take me to that place so far away. There I will stay. Oh, take me to the island. Take me to my dream come true. I'm begging you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, let's sing a song. Come on, everybody, sing a song. Yeah. Oh yes. Where someday I will be king of the deep blue sea, and you will be queen of a paradise night with me. Oh, how it's on my mind, I can feel the urge to unwind. Just to feel the wind through my hair, the sun on my face when I'm there. No more troubled ways, here come lazy days, we'll go sailing. Well, we got to sail away. Take me to the island. Take me to that place so far away. There I will stay. Oh, take me to the island. Take me to my dream come true. Baby, I'm begging you. Oh, yeah. Everybody sing. Oh, yeah. Sing a song. Everybody sing a song. Together. Get the feeling. Get the feeling. Ooh, yeah. Everybody say. All right. No more troubled ways. Here come lazy days. We'll go sailing. Well, we've got to sail away. Take me to the island. Take me to that place so far away. There I will say, oh, take me to the island. Take me to my dream come true. Baby, I'm begging you. Yeah, take me to the island. Take me to that place so far away. Can you hear me say, oh, take me to the island. Take me to my dream come true. Baby, I'm begging you.
Ra'ota uma arotuma, ra'ota uma arotuma.
Noia e Murray, o Toasa le Corina Pastorio, and the word for the day is te whakanisi, meaning gift.
Happy Happy Rotuman Language Week. There you have it. The word for the day is gift. And I'm so sorry to our Rotuman brothers and sisters. I cannot attempt to say that word because I don't want to offend anyone. But the word of the day is gift. If you haven't already been on to the Ministry of Pasifika People website or Facebook page, please head over there now. Sorry, man, Aaron is making me really nervous today. Sorry, and yes, today we do have a gift here, which is Aaron Ryan, the very famous Aaron Ryan, who has been talking a little bit about LMBW, the brand. He is the founder and the creator, but with all of this, he is a man of many, many talents. And he's rolling his eyes, whatever, stop it there. But today, we're talking a little bit about his business. Aaron, tell us a little bit more about what else your brand, LMBW, does.
Yeah, so one of the other things that I thought was really important, and also a bit of selfishness, is I like to write. So we do weekly blogs. So just weekly write-ups, or anything to do with the youth and kids. So it could be stuff talking about the games, or it can be stuff like the next one that's going to the next write-up is about other games you don't need products for. So it's just going to be given a list of 5 games that children can play without having to buy a single cent. But also we do interviews. And what I wanted to do was, there's all sorts of stories in our community across New Zealand that people actually look up to. And I wanted to interview people based on this one question that, if a kid was to come up to you today and say, I want to do what you do, what would you say to them? And so that it's just a 15, 20-minute interview based on their career and then what advice they could give to kids. So hopefully helps parents give those advice too.
I love that.
Yeah. And it was just something because as a kid, I didn't have those people. Now we do. We just Google or YouTube. But back then I didn't have that person or people I could go up to and say, hey, I want to be an actor. What's the best suggestion? I don't have anyone like that. So, and that's the whole purpose.
Yeah, and it is important, and the world has changed, and there are, but I feel that there's room for everyone. So I love that you are doing that side as well for your brand. But what are some of the challenges that you find when you're trying to find that? Do you have like a process when you look for someone, or? So nothing. So the process is very. The requirement is very minimal. Yeah. You have a passion. You have, yes, come back.
I'm hanging around you too much.
It's only been like a few minutes. I love it. So that was a good one.
You have a passion, and you do something about it. So I have people who have done it full time. Some people done it part time. Some people doing it hobby. Oh my gosh, I'm happy today.
You are happy today. Oh, I love this.
And so I've interviewed people like Patrick Tuffa, who if you're familiar with the TV series West Side Story or West Sides, he plays Falani, the only island character on the film. And then I've also interviewed people like Isita Tupu, Hannah, who works here as well. And the last one, Leilash Beauty NZ, and also Johnny Timu from Brown Pride as well.
Oh, yeah. I've seen. Oh, nice. Yeah. No, I love that you've used your platform as well as your knowledge to help our Pasifika kids, and not just Pasifika. You've opened, up to, you've got that platform, and I know that's going to tap into so many more children, because I know that when, I leave this amazing world, I want my children and my children's children to kind of look back and be like, oh, yep, there's someone there. Because you're right, we didn't really have anyone as we were growing up. And although I had mum and dad and my family, it was different because, back in the days, I was quite embarrassed to ask, can you help me spell? I was actually really, scared. But the online platform, it's a new thing, and it's there, it's available. So if you are looking to, for some inspired stories, head over to LMBW, because they will be doing something similar as well. And I love that. Now to the big, massive questions. The biggest question of the year, one of my favorite, food is life. As you can see, food is life. What is your most favorite Polynesian dish?
It's a great question. It would have been so hard to think of a question like
Yeah,
that. But,
it was so hard, man. I was just like, oh my gosh, what would rock us?
No, my honestly, my favorite one is luaunkam. That's every time that's what I'll go for. Even if I'm like maunga as or like full as, like if I see that, I'm like, bring it over here. Yeah, that's definitely 100% my favorite, and it has to be from Samoa.
Yeah,
too, or made
I
from
agree.
the fresh produce. Yeah.
Fresh produce, Samoa. Oh my goodness, I miss Samoa. No, yeah, definitely 100%. That's me.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I always only travelled back to Samoa, was just to have that. Because I don't think if anyone knows how to make the perfect luau here in New Zealand, man, we're here at the Pacific Business Hub, where we'll be able to turn that amazing talent and passion into a business. And you can be based here in our kitchen. No, I love that. Who is your favourite Pasifika hero and why?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think in terms of a celebrity scale, I think none other than people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
And not so much because of what he's done, but how he's done it. Like you just see his work ethic, and like probably if not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, then his mum. Like his mum is just like that, typical Samoan mum still, and her son's like the most famous person in the world. If we're talking community one, everyone knows G Mana, Kalumana Mana, Tai Kalumana Mana. He's definitely in terms of the Pacific space and doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
His family, I grew up with his sons in high school, and his family has just been awesome to me. And that's probably someone in the business world. But I think if anyone in particular, it will be I do have both my grandfathers fortunate still alive here. And what they done for our families and coming from Samoa to here and giving the opportunities, which they're very open for us grandkids to do. Yeah, they're probably our the best.
I love that. Did you get paid to mention The Rock? No. Did you get paid to mention Jimala? No, I'm kidding. No, I love that, and I love that you've mentioned your local, your celebrity, your local, and now your grandparents, and that's awesome. To wrap up our BluTable Talanoa, what's an encouraging message that you have for our viewers that there's some days you were unable to just get out of bed or just be like, that's it, I'm done. That really was that motivated you to keep going.
That's actually a really good question too, and it's not often something that people talk about a lot. I think, but one of the most things that I always think about, and it's something I discovered during my 7th form year of high school. Didn't learn from there was a certain event that I was really down about it. The same thing happened probably 2 years later. But what I learned from myself is that if you can give people if you can just see the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how hard or down you're feeling, how beat up you are, you can see that there's a little bit of hope. Just know the whole world can be like that. What you're going through right now isn't the actual reality. That's just in the space how you're feeling now. Give it time. Go hang out with people who would take those things off your mind. Just if someone can show someone who's feeling down just that little bit of hope, it can open up a world of possibilities. So that's it for me. When my down times, I always think back to the time when I was really feeling down. But I have a cousin who I went and saw, and he used to just take me out and just not talk about anything that I was feeling. Just go out, have fun, do whatever. And then it just showed me that little bit of hope, little bit of light. And then eventually that light turned into a snowball effect. And I was like, oh man, I'm glad now. And now I can go through life. If I'm feeling down, I know that's just what it's going to be like for now.
Where's the tissues at Producer Lemo? I just no, that was awesome. That was awesome advice. We've had to wrap up the show now, but it's been an absolute honor having you.
Thank
today
you.
to
Loved it.
share your story, to share, you know, the push, the drive, what's motivated you. And we hope and pray, our prayers are that Aaron here has inspired our viewers to keep pushing forward, that there is hope. We're going to end our show off with the phrase of the day from the Rotuman Language Week that we are celebrating this week. So that's it. Did you have any final words? Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to make, mum and dad?
Yeah, shout out to my mom and dad. That's pretty much it.
Please hit like and share. No, I'm kidding. But thank you once again. It's been an absolute See, no, stop.
Absolute pressure. Yeah.
Absolute pressure having you here today on BluTable Talanoa. Thank you to all of our viewers, to the Pacific Business Hub, not forgetting Say Oriana, Blue, and also Makanet, ET Live. Thank you so much for letting us broadcast the Pacific Business Hub. Laura has been amazing. So she is probably all of our heroes here. So shout out to Laura. Thank you once again to everyone who's tuned in. God bless, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.
Ra'ota uma arotuma. Ra'ota
Nuaia e Maori, o te wasa le kailini posirio. And the phrase for the day is o te whiangta i te whakanisi, meaning my language is a gift.